We're talking about the pros and cons of dating people with children. Now, let me preface by saying this. Y'all, do not be defensive in the comments. Let me see those comments again. Let me ask this question before we get into it. Would you, I'm asking you, would you date someone with children? Why or why not? Let me see in the comments. I'm going to read some of the stuff. Let's see what you got. Would you date someone with children? Have you dated someone with children? If you will, if you wouldn't, tell me why. Listen, don't put a paragraph in there, y'all. We don't have time to read. Let me see what you're saying. But I'm asking that you all don't be defensive. All right. So somebody says, I'm not doing it. No baby mama drama. All right. That's Des. Des said that. I'm too young to be a stepmom just yet. If I'm single when I'm 35, then maybe. Okay. I don't recommend. T. Tanisha said, I went through pure hell the first 2.5 years. Yes, because I have kids and I would like for my children to be accepted. Good. I've done it multiple times. Carlton says that I've done it multiple times. Tanya says, too late for that. Let's see. Man, y'all typing too fast. Y'all got to slow down. Now, if I asked y'all what's the latest Bible verse you read, would y'all put in the comments this quickly? All right. What did I get? I see popcorn. I guess that's an answer. Not my preference. If you got a child, it got to be worth my while. All right. Bars. Poetry bars. If you got a child, got to be worth my while. Snaps. All right. Depends on how many kids and baby mamas. My sister said, not my preference. Mercer said, I think it says this. Somebody is dating me and I have a child. This is Atlanta. That's facts. Y'all, that's facts, man. Depends on the relationship with baby mama. If you don't respect her, then that tells me how you'll treat me eventually. All right. Quan says, not in the plans, but if I do, that's going to have to be one special lady. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about that. Oh, all right, y'all. Let's talk about some pros and cons. All right. Now, let me preface by saying this. I love everybody. Please don't be offended. Don't be defensive in the comments. Let me pull up my phone and make sure nobody's cursing me out. Let me make sure people, I want to see, I'm going to block you if you start cursing at me, all right? I'm going to block you if you start cursing. Yo, so I'm going to repeat, don't be defensive, y'all. Everything is based upon a person's preference. I do want to preface by saying this. I've done it before. And I'm not doing that again. I'm just not. I've done it before. And I joined in, I'll say this, I would prefer never to do that again. And, you know, I'm young, so life is life. I understand life. I'm just saying at this time in my life, I'm not doing that. I don't have an interest in doing that. And it is not on most occasions, y'all, like in most of the comments, you never saw anything about the children per se. So it's not personal to the children. As a matter of fact, in a certain context, what you're doing is avoiding, like one of the reasons why I'm not going to do it again, I would prefer not to, right? Is because if that relationship doesn't work out and you've fallen in love with the children, guess who will be ripped from your heart? Those kids. Right? Because we're talking about dating. We're not talking about marriage. We're talking about dating. Marriage is another conversation. We've already had this conversation if one is married, right? This is you know, the majority of this conversation is about those who are considering being in a committed relationship with someone who may have children. All right. So we're not talking about the children. Now, we do know that there are some children who have some behavioral problems, cells in their body. Right? But we're not talking directly to the children. We're not talking about the children. Oh, we love our kids, right? We love them dearly. We really do. They're special, right? But the circumstance in and of itself can be, let's say, challenging. And so I'm going to preface by saying I would prefer to avoid that circumstance at all costs. Why? Because I've done it before. As my father would say, been there, done that, got the t-shirt in the closet. All right. So yeah, man. But there are some pros. So I asked several people, I want to read some stuff to you all. I asked several people about this today. And I said, what are the pros and cons of dating somebody or someone with children? And the group of ladies that I asked, they said, ain't no pros. I said, what? They said, ain't no pros. I was like, wow. All right. So this is, listen, a lot of this is not, 98% of this is not coming from me. 98% of this is not coming from me. So don't be offended with me. I'm telling you, 98% of it is not coming from me. It is coming from what I have gathered and interviewed people on. I've asked a bunch of questions, you know, so don't take it personal. I just want to finish my show, all right, without a whole lot of arguments. We're just trying to help the people. We're trying to feed the streets. All right, so I asked a group of men, my men. I'm not going to call their names. I'm going to just read some of the things, two things that I thought was really, really interesting. And it was not, first of all, these men are very intelligent guys, so it wasn't emotional and a bunch of drama with it. It was very, very, very intellectual and thought out answer. One gentleman said this. Move, Mike. Depends on where I am in life. If I'm a young bull, probably not. I have time and options. All right. So let's stop here, guys. I want to pause here. You need to understand that this generation of men, especially ladies, love you so much. You have to understand that this generation of men, they have a lot of options, especially the young, ambitious man that's, you know, pursuing and successful. The likelihood of a young bull or a young lion, a man that has a lot of options, the likelihood of him choosing, hear me, a man that's successful and pursuing. And I'm not going to be disrespectful in my communication. I am not that other personality out there. I love his work, but that's not me, right? But I want to respectfully agree with some of the things that he's saying. And I'm talking, and you all know who I'm talking about, the other personality. Killing the Game, I support it, A, B, C, and D, but I'm not moving in that direction and as far as how we communicate to our, specifically our African-American sisters. We love you. Okay, look, but I do want to communicate this, and I want, listen to me. You know, this question as a leader, I get asked this, and as a pastor, I get asked this question a lot from men and women, specifically from women. But this question is always asked: why aren't people getting married? Why aren't we seeing an influx of marriage happening specifically in the church? Well, here's the thing. It doesn't matter that people are in the church. We still live in a society. Society has a way of shaping and forming our mentality. Number one. Number two, I don't want to get into a biblical conversation, but there is no rule that says when I'm a Christian, I gotta get married. That's something that society and church society has imposed on the church. And this is why we have 5, 10, 15, 20 years later, we have people divorcing, dropping like hot flies, because we've forced marriage on people who were not compatible, who they love God together, and that's about it. They didn't have a lot in common. They didn't enjoy each other. They felt they found a way to love each other, but they didn't like each other, or they liked each other but never moved into in love, right? So I think we have to reverse the curse. We have to reverse this mandate to make everyone married as soon as they become Christians and get in the church. And listen to me. I saw this, and I want to say this, that you can obviously we need to stop suggesting that when you get married, when you become a Christian, God wants you to get married, as if God keeps marriages together. God can keep marriages together, but God does not keep every marriage together. Here's why: because the marriage, hear me, we are submitted to God. We are believers. We love God. At the end of the day, though, we still have to fall in love. We still have to operate in principles, relationship principles. We still have to be compatible. And God ain't putting people together that's not compatible. God ain't putting people together that don't really like people. All right, I digress from that. I want to say this, though. I want to say this to everybody, that a young, successful man, get this, who has a lot of options. He's attractive, moving and shaking in society, climbing the ladder, whether it's a corporate ladder or whatever he's doing, the entrepreneurship ladder. He's just killing, and he's a young lion. He's probably not, with a lot of options. A guy that does not have a lot of options would choose a woman that does not, that may have children. A guy that has a lot of options probably will not choose a woman with children. And when I say choose, I mean settle down with and marry. Swig of water time. It ain't happening. No, it's not going to happen. Okay? Don't curse me. I'm just telling you that as a young lion, a young bull, I'm speaking for men who are on that same trajectory. The likelihood, now get this, get a guy that's maybe 50, 55, 60. That may be different. Older guys will do that. They've gotten past the stage of life that young bulls and young lions are in. But if you're looking for a young, successful, 6-figure guy and more, and he's climbing and he has a bunch of options, get this, he's probably not going to stop and walk down the aisle with a woman, get this, that has children and she's at a certain age bracket. All right. I'm not going to stay there too long because y'all will curse me, but I just want to verify what he just said. Let's keep reading on this. Cons: child's father, past experience of the kids with other guys, relationship priority with the mom, independent woman mindset. Now, did y'all hear that? Let me read it again. I'm going to slow it down. Cons: here are the cons. This is what he said. Depends on where I am in life. If I'm a young bull, probably not. I don't have the time or probably not. I have time and options. This is what he said. He goes on to say cons: child's father, past experiences of the kids with other guys, relationship priority with the mom, independent woman mindset. So hear me, this verifies if a guy is successful, young, and he has options, why would he choose that type of warfare? We call it in the church, but in culture, we'll say, why would he choose that type of drama over a young lady that's beautiful, young, successful? Get this. Why would he choose a woman with that doesn't come with all of that, let's say, drama or responsibility? He wouldn't if he has options. Then he goes on to say, pros, generally more responsible and focused, looking for stability and serious relationship. So that's a pro. There are pros, but I do want to set the foundation. Ladies, you need to understand this, that if you're talking about, especially if you live in a city like Atlanta, LA, New York, bunch of options, A, B, C, and D, you need to know what you're working against. You need to know what's going on. You need to know the mentality of society, of the culture, all right? Let me read another one to you. I would like to think if I'm in love, I would have no problem doing it. It really depends on the woman and her relationship with her baby's father. So get this, everybody, it's not personal to you. It doesn't say that you're not valuable or good. It goes beyond you. It's circumstances that may come along with your circumstance. It's not personal. You feel what I'm saying? All right, watch this. I only talked to one woman with children, and when she started to bring up problems with her baby's dad, it ran me away, especially because I don't have any children myself. So you got a person that's single, that doesn't have children, and now you're bringing up a bunch of issues with the baby's father, ABC. Listen to me. I've been there, done it. Let me see how I can communicate this, because, you know, I have this little platform now, so I got to be careful. I'll never forget this, yo. I won't forget this. I whooped how I disciplined the child the baby's father didn't agree with. Get this, it really wasn't about how I disciplined the child. It was the fact that I was disciplining the child. It had nothing to do with how. I wasn't being abusive. It was the fact that I'm the one doing it and I'm not the father. And so we had to have a come to Jesus. And yo, I'm gonna be honest with you. This was years ago. It turned up. It turned up. What do you mean? We had to come to Jesus. He was with his lady. I was with the child's mom. We all in a session, right? Because we talk. So we got the baby mama and the baby daddy, and we got the baby daddy's girlfriend and me. And so, you know me, if you know me, you heard me. Hey, it got a little, yeah, right? But get this, now that I'm older, that was over 10 years ago, right? Now that I'm older, I don't have time for that. I don't have time for that. I don't have time to do that. I have a career. I got a lot going on. I don't have time for any type of drama that will detour me and distract me. So yeah. See, I was young then. I had time that day. I don't have time today. So these are some of the things that men are thinking about and women are thinking about who are successful, who are trying to pursue things. If they don't have children, they don't have time to be getting in an argument with your baby mama about, you know, how she decided to discipline the child, A, B, C, and D, blah, 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 blah. So it's not personal to you. It's the circumstance. Let's talk. Pros. Here it is, y'all. We got to go. Pros. Pros. There are pros. Here we go. First of all, let's continue to build this foundation. It's not right or wrong to date someone with children. Need to understand that it's not right or wrong. What is it? It is based upon a person's maturity. So get this. If a person is mature enough to handle all those things that may come along with dating someone with children, go for it. Come on, put in the comments, say go for it. It is not right or wrong. So if a person decides to date somebody with 1 child, 2 children, 5, that's not a right or wrong decision. It's more so if you have the maturity, the personality, the emotional and mental stamina to be a support system to that partner of yours, then go for it. You got to say partner these days because people got a lot going on, all right? Partners, you know? So if your partner has a child and you have the ability to handle all the things that may come along with that, you ain't my mama, you ain't my daddy, I'm going to tell my mama on you, she going to come over there and beat you up, all of that. If you have the ability to say, well, you know, we don't solve problems with violence, Jay Sean. We don't do that. If you have that maturity, go for it. It's about a person's maturity and preference. And people have the right to say, hey, I prefer not to do that. It's based on someone's maturity. Here it is, y'all. Y'all ready? Pros. They are, hear me, oftentimes generally more responsible and focused because they have learned how to live life not based on their own selfish desires, but having children, it makes you the ultimate form of selfless. We ain't talking about everybody because we know some bomb parents, we know some bomb daddies, and we know some bomb mamas. However, generally speaking, people with children are more focused, more responsible. That's a pro. Number 2, they don't have a whole lot of time to waste. Let me say that again. They don't have a whole lot of time to waste. Focused. They don't waste a lot of time. They have to prioritize their day. They have to prioritize their schedule. That's my number 3. They are on a schedule. It's about serious business. Listen to me. And when you are a man or a woman that's looking for someone that's focused, looking for someone that has an objective, looking for someone that does not waste time, that does not play the radio, as I would say, that does not have time for a lot of foolery, that's a good option. Sometimes when you're single, you don't have children, it's all about you. You kind of here and popping over here. You can't stay focused. All those types of silly things that people who don't have a lot of responsibility, and get this, they have the right to do that. They don't have children. They don't have that serious level of responsibility. But when you have children, it matures you quicker. I would assume, I don't have children, I would assume that if you are 22 and you have a child, by the time you're 25, you're more mature than the average 25-year-old, because having to take care of another life, it matures you quicker, all right? So, number 1, generally more responsible and focused. Number 2, they don't have a lot of time to waste. They about that business. Number 3, they are on a schedule. Number 4, you get to see how they are with parents. As parents, you get to see how they are as parents. If you're seriously considering them to be, permanent in your life, what I mean by permanent, hey, this is going to be a lasting relationship, serious, maybe leading to marriage, I get an opportunity to observe their parenthood, their parental skills, how they interact with their children. And that is oftentimes a wonderful sight to see, because if in fact they are willing to have children with you, you can trust by careful observation and consideration based upon their interaction with their current child, you will be able to see how what kind of mother she'll be, or what kind of father he'll be to your children. That's good. Come on, let's clap on that. Send some clapping hands on that. Yeah, that's a good opportunity to see how that person will be as a parent. That's a benefit. Get this. Number 7, you get to spend time with children. Now, who wouldn't want to do that? You get to spend time with children, building a relationship with them, building a rapport with them. They're children, especially if they're open to you. We're going to talk about that in the con section. But you get a chance to spend time with the children, and that's always a wonderful experience. Hear me very carefully. It is always a great opportunity to impart and interact with the next generation, and you have to see it like that. That's a great benefit. Hear me. Do you know that many of us would not be who we are today if a person didn't come in and take the place of our biological parents? I don't have that context, but my dad says it all the time. He says, I wouldn't be who I am if a man didn't come by the way of my by way of my grandfather and raise my dad. It's phenomenal. I have a father that raised me. Hear me very carefully. And his character and a lot of his constitution came from his father, who is not necessarily not his biological father. But get this: Dad has said this all the time. If it had not been for that man that was willing to say, no, I'm going to love you and love your children, many parents wouldn't be here. So let's not count that out. That it was a guy or a girl who said, no, these are not my biological children, but I'll love them as I love you. I'll raise them as my own and raise powerful kids who get this, who are your parents. So we can't count that out. That's not everybody's context, but that's a lot of people's context, especially in the African-American community. So let's not rule that out. Get this. Lastly, it develops you as a person. Here's how it develops you as a person, y'all. Because you can't act crazy around the children. You got to watch your mouth. You got to watch your attitude. You got to watch your interaction. When you're around children, it tends to make you conscious of your behavior. It tends to make you conscious of your behavior. And we all need opportunities and environments where we're conscious of our behavior, because you have a little person watching you, watching what you say, watching how you communicate, watching what you say on the phone, it's an opportunity to develop character. Let's move on. Let's get into some cons. Here it is. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Cons. It's loud. It's loud. It's going to be loud a lot of times. Banging, drinking, bunking, bunking, play with my doll and play with my G.I. Joe and play with my blocks and play with my... It's going to be loud. It's going to be it can be chaotic. It can be chaotic. Listen. Whoa. That right there got me. I can end the show. I can't take all that. Not right now. I got too much going on. Okay, you're talking about children. That's a con. Hear me, that may not, you like, y'all don't have time for that. All right, you have to think about that. Number 2, you may have to fight for a place. You may have to fight for a place. Remember that statement I made earlier? You ain't my daddy. That's real. Hear me, that's real. You may have to fight for a place. You may start falling in love and making a connection, but there will be moments where you realize you're not the real mother. You're not the real father. Get this, y'all. You know, again, I've done it already, so I'm talking from experience and, observation and investigation. We're all going to, hear me, we're all going to bring who we are, our upbringing, to our relationships, correct? So listen, my parents believed in the power of the belt. I remember my daddy, I went to my auntie's house. I think this was the one. I went to my auntie's house and we were playing outside. And I used the bathroom outside by the tree, and my auntie saw me. She told my mama. My mama told my daddy. I got a whooping with 8 belts that day. He just picked up everything he saw. And dad was in law enforcement, so those belts are not thin. That ain't no TJ Maxx belt, doctor. Police belts, y'all know this your boy. I used to be the police. Those belts, that ain't no TJ Maxx. Got the, I ain't about the brown and black where you can flip the Nah, no. I'm talking about that little thin belt for casual and cocktail parties. That stuff don't hurt. No, I'm talking about the police belt. I think my dad picked up everything because, get this, it was because my sister was right there. She was around and she saw me use the belt. So my dad was pissed off to the highest level of pistivity. Get this. So they believed in the power of the belt. Well, the person that you're dating or involved with may not believe in whoopings. They may believe in corners. I don't believe in the corner. Ain't nothing in the corner but dust and roaches. There's no power in the corner. There's no power in the corner. I believe there's power in the belt. I believe God has a belt on right now. I believe he wears a belt. Okay? Hear me. You will find out what your place is when you decide to discipline that child. You'll see. I saw it, you'll see it. Sometimes they will agree. If they feel like you hurt my baby or you talking to my baby any kind of way, you'll find out that so what will that do? It will quickly show you what your place is. So that's a con. Number 3, everybody knows this. We've said it all night. Let me say it in a more intellectual and an intelligent way. You have to deal, there's a high probability or chance you will have to deal with the children's biological parents. And listen to me, this ain't TV. That may not go well. And as a pastor, I have seen it not go well. I'm talking about as a senior pastor. I ain't talking about nothing I read. I've seen that not go well. So it can go well, but it is challenging. I have seen couples go through very, very difficult times, almost to the place where they're like, yo, I don't know if we need to be in this relationship because I can't deal with the drama of your children's parents, male or female. It can be difficult. The drama is really real. It's a lot. So you need to understand that it ain't no, oh, I'm cool. It doesn't, no, this ain't no game. You're dealing with real people, real children and their parents. So you need to consider that. Get this. They may not, here it is. I think I'm at number 1, 2, 3. I'm going to give you 7. Number 4, they may not have time to focus on the relationship 100%. If they 18, 19, yeah. If they 6, 7, 10, 14, no, you don't come first. That's a con. You ain't first. You may not be third. Get this, parenthetical to that, there is no spontaneity, meaning this, get this. It ain't no, hey, babe, what you doing? At 12 o'clock at night, come to the house. Not when Jay Sean sleep, he got to go to school tomorrow. He got to go to school tomorrow. Oh, no. The spontaneity, what you would do with a single person. They can get up in the middle of the night, A, B, C, and D. You want me to come over there? You want me to come over there? And, y'all can do that. Not when they have children, though. So y'all got to plan. Y'all got to plan. Get this. Parents be tired. So even if Jay Sean at their daddy house or their mama house, they tired. So it may not be that same freedom and luxury to just kind of do and go. Hey, let's go and do this. Let's go and travel. You can forget all that vacation stuff. Like, I don't care how much money you got. You can forget all that vacation in the middle of the week. Hey, let's just go. Let's just go to the cabin. Can they come with me? It's gonna be me, you, and them. Can they come? So your vacation turns into a vacation because now it ain't no driving to the mountains in the cabin with, John B. No, it ain't that. You looking over at her. What up, girl? I can't wait. Girl, we gonna get to the cabin and have us some meat time. It ain't none of that. It's Sesame Street playing. It's Power Rangers. It's SpongeBob playing in the back while you trying to be safe. It ain't none of that. It's a vacation. You got to stop and eat chicken nuggets all over the car. Now you just got to call Wonka. You about to pick her up. You feel me? It's chicken nuggets all over the crumbs everywhere. I can't take that. This your boy. I can't take it. You need to understand that. You need to understand that. That's number 5. Watch this. Remember this. People, get this, y'all. I'm being serious on this one. You may be a good person, but parents don't trust everybody around their children right off, straight away. No. You have to be, so you may not be, they may, especially ladies, they may not introduce you to their children for the first few months. And when they do, get this, now you all have built this intimate relationship, but you come around the children and the other family, grandma, all that stuff, you may be introduced as friend. Hey, this is my friend. This is my friend, right? You need to understand that you may not be introduced straight away. That's serious. No, I can handle you, but I'm not about to just let you be around my children just because I like you. No, you got to earn that. So you need to understand that you may not be introduced to the family right off. You'll be introduced as friend, probably not boyfriend. You need to understand that. You need to understand that you will not be a priority. Okay, here's my last one. I'm done. What time it are? What time is it? All right. It's 9:30. All right, it's 9:28. Here's my last one. My last one. This is important to people. You got to always know that if you all have a lasting relationship where you get married, you won't experience your first child together. That's important for some people. If she's already had a child, or if he's already had a child, when you all get married and have children, that will be your first experience. It won't be theirs. So you need to consider that. That's something that's important to me, just as a man. I'm talking about me. That's a personal preference of mine. I would prefer that wow, look what you did. Look what I did. Look what we did. And it's our first time. That's important to me.